Good morning, everyone. Please rise. Today, we are going to sing the hymn number 12, Majesty, which is printed on your hymn book, page 30 to 31. Let's sing the hymn once. Majesty, worship His majesty. Unto Jesus be our glory, power, and praise. Majesty, kingdom, authority, from His throne unto His throne, His anthem raise. So exalt, lift up on high the name of Jesus. Magnify, come glorify, Christ Jesus the King. Majesty, worship His majesty. Jesus who died, now glorified, King of our kings.
Today's scripture is taken from Psalms chapter 34, verse 3, which is printed on the hymn book, page 5, item number 2. Please listen to God's word. Glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt His name together. Psalms chapter 34, verse 3. Let's read it together.
Glorify the Lord with me. Let us exalt His name together. Psalms chapter 34, verse 3.
Let's bow and pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we praise You. You are the creator of the world, and You sent Jesus Christ, Your only Son, to save us. We are here to worship You and give thanks. Thank You for giving us a fruitful summer holiday so that we can take a break. Thank You for giving us peace and looking after us. As the new academic year resumes, we pray that You bless all the teaching staffs and students. May Your glory and love be with us as always. In the name of Jesus we pray. Amen. Please be seated.
Good morning, Principal, Vice and Assistant Principals, teachers and fellow students. We are the Cultural Exchange Ambassadors. I'm Joey from 5D.
I'm Mickey from 5C. Today we are honored to have a guest, Tacy, and an exchange student to share their special experience with us. Before we start our program, may we invite our principal, vice and assistant principals to proceed to the auditorium to enjoy the program.
Last year, one of our students joined a one-year exchange program to Sweden to experience the local culture and lifestyle.
Now, let's invite 5C Cho Cha Ying Ann to share her meaningful journey with us.
Okej, god morgon allihopa. Jag heter Ann och jag har varit I Sverige en sista år. And so good morning everyone. Today I'm going to share about my year in Sweden. And last year I was an AFS exchange student. So I was living in a host family and yeah. And I am Ann from 5C. I live in a city called Karlstad and it's next to the biggest lake in Sweden, like over here. And I live in an area called Lambaret and it is a small area and we are close to each other. And this is a picture of Lambaret. And here's my family. Over there is my older brother, my younger sister, and my younger brother. And we spend a lot of time together. And Over here, me and my sister were teaching each other Mandarin and Swedish because she was learning Mandarin and I was learning Swedish, so we teach each other. And here, over here, we were ice skating, and here we built an igloo, and here we sing Christmas carols in a festival called Lucia. And here is my brother. He was hiding inside my luggage when I was going to go back to Hong Kong, and he wanted me to bring him back to Hong Kong. And here are my friends in Sweden, and these are my friends from school, and we were graduating together. And this is exchange student friend from Germany, and my Turkish friend from Turkey. And this is me and my friend traveling to other cities in Sweden. And this old guy is actually a friend from my neighborhood, and he owns a boat, and in summer, we often go on boat trips, and I even try to steer the boat. And here comes to school. We have different classrooms for different lessons, so we need to move from one classroom to another classroom every lesson. And we use computer for lesson, and we don't use textbooks. And we have pretty early lunch. Generally, we have lunch before 12 o'clock. And the schedule is different every day. So it's like university, you have different time slot, and we start school at different time, and we end school at different time every day. Now I'm gonna talk about how to live like a Swede. Swedes have some weird habit, I think. They love drinking milk. A adolescent like you guys would drink about 2 to 3 glasses of milk every day. And there's something also called fika. Fika is like afternoon tea in Hong Kong. And instead of eating pineapple bun, we would eat a cinnamon bun that looks like this. And you might have seen it in IKEA. It's called yokguaigun. And Swedes love to embrace the sun even if it's cold outside. So in winter, if it's sunlight, we would put on our jacket and then we would go outdoor to do some activities. And about some weird food in Sweden. And this one is called lakrish. Lakrish is a sweet candy, is a salt candy, which is salty and not really tasty. I've given my classmate in Hong Kong to try it, and I don't think any of them like it. And here comes the surströmming. Surströmming is a canned fish which smells like toilet, and it's really disgusting. But like even local doesn't like it. And here is the Swedish cake, sandwich cake. It is a cake which are used to celebrate some festivals like graduation and weddings. And I got one when I was graduating from my school in Sweden. And this is caviar. Caviar is fish eggs, yuji. And it is salty, and we used to eat it with eggs and sandwiches. And this is a curry banana pizza, and it's a really weird combination. And some festivals that are special in Sweden, and in Christmas, I will receive one present every day from 1st of December till the Christmas day. And I receive a total of, I think, 30-something presents in Christmas. And here, over there is a pastry called Lucy Cat. And it is a saffron and raisin bread. And it is used to celebrate Christmas. And here we are decorating a Christmas tree. And over there, this is, we were burning a pile of wood to celebrate the coming of spring. And here we dance and sing around this statue to celebrate the coming of summer. And this is an Easter egg filled with candies. And here I attended a Lucia concert, which is near Christmas. And some big difference between Sweden and Hong Kong. Cycling is a culture in Sweden, I think. Because like, no matter it's a big city in the capital or it's a small city like mine, there are cycling paths everywhere. And people cycle to everywhere for work, for school, for leisure activities. And I have tried cycling to school. And the next point is we have a relaxing school environment, which the students are encouraged to like participate actively in lessons. And parents are free from work very early. My parents, they will be free from home at around 6 o'clock. So we would have a lot of family time together. And there are forests everywhere. On my way home from the capital to my city, Karlstad, all I saw on the highway was forests. And it was really, and I was like, oh, is my city, Karlstad, gonna be the same, like in the forest, middle of nowhere? And here are some of the first time that I've tried in Sweden. And here I assembled an IKEA wardrobe, which is it's not difficult, but it's a amazing, it's a experience. And here I craft pumpkins, and this is the one I made. And here I built a snowman. I skied. I learned how to ski after falling for about 300 times. And here I learned how to climb a tree. And I actually fell down from a tree and hurt my back, but I'm okay now. And here I knit and I baked. This is the Lucy Cat, the Christmas pastry I mentioned before. And I've also except for activities that I've tried the first time, I've also dakpoji, and then I have grown out my hair. I think I have never had long hair before, and now during in Sweden, I've grown out my hair. And what I've gained in Sweden, like friends, I have many friends now that are international, and here are the AFS family in Sweden, and they're coming from all over the world. And I've also gained another family, and this is my family when we were leaving Sweden, when I was leaving Sweden, and we took a picture together, and it was, and we really like each other. And then here is Swedish. I've also learned Swedish. In the beginning, I didn't thought that I would learn Swedish because I think Swedes can speak English like us, you guys know how to speak English. But it turns out that I need to learn Swedish because they are not willing to speak English with me. And here comes the experiences. There are a lot of experiences that I cannot explain in words. And all those experiences make me more mature, more independent, and it's made me grown up. And exchange isn't a year in your life. It's a life in your year. And I would totally encourage all of you to go to exchange, especially if all of you are junior students. You can plan to go in exchange, gain some experience, go on a gap year. And I would never ever regret about going to exchange. And so I hope all of you would now go and join the AFS Big Family. Choose a country and apply now. If you have any questions, you can ask me in 5C, or you can ask cultural teachers, or you can just go on the AFS website. Just type AFS in Google, and you will find all the things you want to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne, for the wonderful sharing.
Our new graduates, Tacy Chen, is one of the 100 youth ambassadors being recruited in the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the establishment of the HKSAR. She is one of the 3 secondary students being recruited.
She is the young ambassador. She assists the government in various international conflicts and activities to promote Hong Kong hospitality. She will also participate in international exchange programs.
Can't wait to hear her sharing. Let's give a big hand to her.
So what's the crack? That's actually the way how Irish teens greet each other. So good morning, everyone. I'm Tacy. I'm the youth ambassador this year regarding the celebration of the 20th anniversary of the return of Hong Kong to China. So basically, the youth program is about is formally the IYEP program, which is the International Youth Exchange Program organized by the Home Affairs Bureau and the Commission on Youth. So this year, regarding the return of Hong Kong to China, it strengthened to the 20 AYA program. So about the aim of this program, it aims to broaden our horizon and to promote the active participation of Hong Kong young people to serve the community and to promote the Hong Kong culture to the foreign world. And we also have some trainings before our exchange overseas and before our participation in various conferences. Like one of my most memorable experience was to learn how to pose correctly and how to shake hands with the government officials. And you can see like these are the activities we had at the training camps. And we also need to dress very formally. About the opportunities for us, it was a very fruitful program, to be honest. Apart from joining different conferences and to participate in some consultations regarding the government policies, we also had an exchange program, which I went to Ireland just in mid-August. So it was really an exchange because the Irish delegates also visited Hong Kong beforehand, and this is a picture of them taken in Hong Kong, obviously, and we actually bring them to many different places, except those tourist places. We also bring them to like social services, and I'll talk about that later. And we also got outbound trip to like this group. They went to Kagoshima, and I went to Ireland. There are some groups also going to San Francisco and Australia, etc. So about the inbound trip. It was really fun to see the Irish delegates coming to Hong Kong, giving us comments about various aspects in Hong Kong. For example, it actually surprised them how small our houses are, and they were surprised how Hong Kong, such a densely populated small city, could develop into nowadays the international financial center. And there you can see this picture. It's actually one of the most interesting experience for them because they went to Food Angel, if any one of you have heard of it. It's an NGO recycling the food and to prevent the accumulating food waste in Hong Kong. And we actually went there to cut the vegetables, and the Irish delegates actually enjoyed it because it's not really like, it's not a trip, but it's an experience, and it's also a learning experience for them to explore Hong Kong, to learn more about the social issues, and also to serve the community as well. So day 4 to 5, they visited the University of Hong Kong as well as the Baptist University. And you can see the picture over here is a performance by the Irish delegates at one of our DIY projects. And what's DIY project? I will talk about that later. So we also bring them to the Science Park and Ocean Park as well. And at last, we had a farewell camp at Noah's Ark, and we also allowed them to experience the Hong Kong barbecue. So about the outbound trip. So after they came to Hong Kong, we also went to Ireland. And again, we also participate in some social surveys. For example, one of my most remarkable moments during the outbound trip was to perform Gai Dai Fun Hei at an elderly home. It was really a touching experience, to be honest, because at first the elderly home was like, the atmosphere was very serious and everyone is so quiet, and we just try to bring some happiness and some harmonious atmosphere to the elderlies, and we actually succeed in that. And they also sing they also performed their Irish traditional song to us in return, and it was like really the most memorable moments in the trip. And we also learned the Irish traditional dance, and to meet with the Cork Lord Mayor. Cork is the city where we stayed at. And there's some home visits, so we separate ourselves into different groups, and we visited the Irish delegates' home, and to like really interact with their families and to have closer discussions about various topics. For example, like how do you get qualified to be an engineer in Ireland, or like how is the housing in Ireland. So talking about DIY project earlier, our program actually also consists of a part of it allowing us to organize and to create celebration events regarding the return of the 20th anniversary of Hong Kong's return to China. So we actually organized 2 DIY projects, and the smartphone filming competition award ceremony was one of them. It's not, we didn't organize it from the start of it, but we took part to manage and to organize the ceremony at last. So earlier you can see the picture of Irish delegates singing in the ceremony. That was one part of like the elements that we added in. And the second one is 而家上映. I don't know whether some of you have seen our bus traveling around Hong Kong just some days earlier. We actually went to Wong Tai Sin, Siu Sai Wan, and also Sha Tin, etc. So this is really the campaign that we organized from the start of it, and to contact with the local community to ask for some volunteers. And also during the process, it was we didn't expect so many difficulties, to be honest. For example, we didn't expect that we need to pay attention to the privacy policies, like the legal policies when we need to use the government logos and the design regarding the 20th anniversary. And we also need to pay attention to different housing policies when we want to park the truck in some public housing estate. So about reflections. So you can see the quote, doubt keeps more dreams than failure ever will. So at first I was a little bit scared because I'm one of the only 3 secondary school students at the program, and everyone is either university students or they are already working. So one point is that I am afraid that I won't be getting along with them as friends or as partners in organizing different activities, because like everyone would just treat me as a child, but that's not the truth. To be honest, they just treat me as an adult, and they give me a job as everyone else does. And I remember, it would be a bit odd, but I remember a quote from the Bible, 別叫人小看你年輕. It's really true because what your attitude and your ability to work is not measured by your age, but rather your experience and your confidence. So just believe in yourselves and just grab the opportunity to join any activity that you're interested in, and you get more than you have expected. And the second point is that I learned to manage my time well. to be honest, I'm always so poor at it because I always get stressed when there are so many too much workload. But during that time, it was actually around at the time that I need to prepare for my public exam. But I try to do my best to still join some activity about the YA program and to contribute as much as I can. So don't dream about it, do it. Just pay attention to your e-class email mailbox, and you don't miss any chance to join exchange programs or some leadership program that would really widen your horizon and to give you more experiences in prepare for your future development. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Tacy, and thank you, Anne. Before we go on to the exchange students this year, we have one from Switzerland and another one from Spain. Before we go on, now, Tacy is now studying in Hong Kong University of Hong Kong, and I know that after your Form 3 year, you have 1 year experience in Germany as well, right? And now, just now, Tacy said that don't be bound or confined by the boundary here in Hong Kong, because Hong Kong is just a very small city. You need the confidence and the experience, the exposure actually, right? You have to see more of China, also see more of the world. Go beyond China, go beyond Hong Kong, and participate. Try to grasp every opportunity to participate in activities, inter-school activities, and also learning trips elsewhere, to Asia or to Europe or to North America, because experience, exposure are very important. And just now, Anne also mentioned, participate actively in school, in learning. Now, participate actively. Now, in the school hall, can you say that, oh, I'm not participating actively? No. Why? You have to participate actively. How? How can they participate actively?
Well, when there are speakers on the stage and they ask a question, try to answer it, even though you are not sure of the answer, because no one will scold you because you're wrong. And when the guests say morning, so say morning. Yeah.
Also, by listening attentively. Don't think that I sit here without doing anything. No. Now in the school hall, you are using your ear. You are also using your brain. You have to think, digest what the guest speakers are talking about, and then listen attentively as well. In your year in Germany, actually, when you come back to Hong Kong, what's your feeling?
Firstly, at school, my feeling was a little bit weird because the learning culture is really different. I remember back then in Germany, we sit, when we are in class, we actually sit in groups U-shaped instead of rows. So it actually facilitates discussion, and everyone will just put up their hand whenever there's a problem or whenever they are curious about the topic. But back in Hong Kong, it seems like a little bit strange when you always put up your hand. But that's actually how you progress and how you improve your results, because you really need to ask and seek advice when you need. And secondly, I think about family. I actually spend more time with my family after my exchange year because I didn't expect that I would really miss them so much, and I would really miss those family time that we have every Sundays just by chilling at home or enjoying a movie. And at first, when I go to Germany, I really think that, oh, I'm free from my mom and dad now, and I can do whatever I want. But just after 3 months, I start to having homesick already. So really, spending time with your family is important, no matter how much workload you have.
Thank you. Actually, I just came onto the stage spontaneously. I think Tacy has no preparation to answer me questions, right? But two things: participate actively or be interactive in the classroom, in classroom learning. Try to raise questions, answer questions, okay, as far as possible, and treasure the time with your family, okay? Thank you, Tacy. Thank you, Anne, okay? And then time to the exchange students.
Thank you, Tacy.
Every year, two exchange students from different countries are invited to study with us in Munson College.
This year, we are glad to have Kai and Martin to be our schoolmates and share their culture with us. Do you want to know more about them?
Sure, let's invite Kai to introduce himself first.
Josan. Okay, Kai, or I CCA, and today I'm gonna talk about Switzerland, and I'm gonna tell you more about me. So, I already introduced myself in front of some classes, but many of you didn't know where Switzerland is, so I prepared a map today for you. This is Switzerland. This is Europe, by the way. Some of you didn't know what Europe is, so this is Europe. This is Switzerland. And you can see Germany in the north, Italy in the south, France in the west, and Austria in the east. So Switzerland is this tiny country. This is a map of Switzerland. This is the capital of Switzerland. I'm going to introduce you to Zermatt later. Zurich is the biggest city. I think you may have heard before of Zurich. It's a pretty nice city. And I live in Pfäffikon, so this is in the same province. What is Switzerland famous for? Switzerland is famous for its cheese, chocolate, Swiss Army knife, Rolex, and the Alps. So 65% of Switzerland is covered by the Alps. The Alps are mountains, basically. So the Swiss national dish is cheese, of course. Swiss cuisine is very heavy. So you have, in Switzerland, we often eat potatoes and sausages and very heavy dishes. So our national dish is also very heavy. So in winter, if it's really cold, it's a very delicious dish. Just melted cheese, you put some bread inside and eat it with a little bit of pepper. So I'm going to introduce you to Zermatt. If you are going to Switzerland, you have to visit Zermatt. It's a little town in the mountainside, but many tourists visit Zermatt. It has its own tradition still, but it's very touristy, so you can buy a lot of souvenirs and even McDonald's. Zermatt is famous for the big famous mountain named Matterhorn. You can even climb on the Matterhorn. So on the first day you're going to walk here, there is a little house here, and you can walk up here and just enjoy the mountain view. If it's good weather and you can see this mountain, it's amazing, the mountain view. So I've actually been there in February with my Japanese grandparents, my mother, my father, and it was good weather and it was just beautiful. Even if I live in Switzerland, I don't go here that often, so it was a very nice opportunity to go and see this mountain. So maybe you have heard of, or already eaten this chocolate named Toblerone. It has a unique triangular shape, and it's inspired by the shape of this mountain I have introduced now. So this is called Toblerone. Toblerone. Also very unique for Switzerland is the Swiss language. So I'm going to teach you some Swiss words. The first word is the word for chaos. Chaos. I don't know how to pronounce chaos. So I'm going to say it in Swiss German, and you have to say it again. So, Grüße. Yes. Very difficult to pronounce, right? Especially the R is always like R. Yes. The second one is Gouderwelsch. So Gouderwelsch is a language you cannot understand. So for you, Swiss German or my language is Gouderwelsch. I say it and you can say it then. So Gouderwelsch. Yes, pretty good, pretty good. So next one is the kitchen shelf. This is the, how to say, yeah, this is a very famous word, just really typical Swiss word. Küchenkastli. Yes, very good, very good. And the last one is being picky with food. I think this is only in my province or in my region you use this word. So this is a very local word. Schnatterfrässig. Yes, very good. So you can impress your Swiss friends. So I'm going to introduce you to myself. These photos are all related to my hobbies. This is the Japanese prince of the royal family. So 3 years ago, he visited the Japanese school in Switzerland, and I'm studying Japanese in this Japanese school for 2 hours a week. So I could meet him. That was a pretty big event. My second hobby is Boy Scouting. So you can see me here in my Boy Scout uniform. I think Boy Scouting is really different to here because it's not like military or not so strict. It's more a leisure activity. So you meet with so basically there are leaders and children. And the children and the leaders, they meet once a week for 2 hours. And the leaders, they prepare a program for the children. For example, searching a treasure or something. And the leaders, they create or make up a story. So the children, they have to solve quizzes or something like this. So it's more like fun. And here, this is my best friend and me. We are dressed up for Boy Scouts. And my other hobbies are playing the clarinet. And last year, I started to play badminton. So maybe today I can, this year I can join the badminton team. So these are my friends in Switzerland. They all came to the airport, and I really appreciate that they were at the airport. This is my best friend, and these three they are in my class. So they all came to the airport. This is my grandmother. She lives in the same town. I visit her once a week to eat dinner with her. Actually, it's not usual to meet the grandparents that often in Switzerland, but you know, she lives in the same town, so I meet her a lot. This is my buddy, my best friend. So we went to a clothing store and we just dressed up for fun. These are my parents, my mother and my father. This is in Slovakia. In our summer holidays, we went to Slovakia. This is a very old and very big castle, pretty impressive. So my mother, she's a hairdresser and she likes to play the cello. My father, he's a psychologist and he likes to ride the motorbike. So one more photo of our summer holidays. We were also in Austria. This is Salzburg. Have you heard of that? Oh, you know the famous composer named Mozart? He has been born here in Salzburg. So I visited the house he has been born. So school life. School life is very different to here. I think the whole education system is very, very different. So this is at lunchtime, we can use the rooms for listening to music or just eating some snacks, doing homework, chatting with friends. We can use the rooms and we can lock the rooms. So we did a selfie with the teacher. Actually, it's not forbidden to use the phone in the school, but not during the lesson. So we took a photo with the teacher. He got retired, so we just decided to take a picture with him. And my host family, they are very nice. I'm so happy. Of course, they live in a small flat. I know in Hong Kong, the space is very limited. So in Switzerland, I live in a house. But here, I live in a small apartment, and I have to share a room. But that's okay. So they are very nice people. I'm very happy with them and the sources. I'm really looking forward to spend the year with you guys. If you see me, somewhere in the school campus, you can just say hello to me, hello Kai or something. Yeah, so I'm gonna pass the mic to Martin.
Is no one gonna present? Okay. The stick. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so hello everybody. Well, nay day ho. Augu Martin, or Zhongman Menghai Kong Ma Kan. O lei ji sai ba nya, tang hai o hai London cho sai. Okay, o mami hai basayan, tang kei sang o hai fa guo yang. So, well, that, I hope you understood what I said. Obviously, I'm not very sure. My Cantonese is horrible right now. But anyway, so that was quickly presenting my origins. So, well, now I'm gonna present myself. I don't have any pictures or anything like Kai has because I was told my presentation had to last 4 minutes. But everyone is lasting 10 to 15, so am I allowed to take 10 minutes? Hello? Yeah? Okay. So as you've just heard, I was born in London, and I actually moved to Spain in 2011, January, because of my father's work. And, well, Spain is an incredible country, and I love it to bits. It's incredible. I love it more than London, although I actually lived there longer. And, well, I'm going to present to you today a few of their traditions, the famous ones anyway, because every town in Spain has different traditions and different customs, and it's very long to present all of them, because Spain actually has a very complicated history, where it was invaded by the Muslims and also by the French, so it has influences from everywhere. But anyway, so starting off by presenting myself. So I moved to Spain in 2011, and I was actually in the French system. So I went to the Lycée Français de Madrid, which is the French School of Madrid. And in 2014, I skipped a class, which gave me the opportunity to do this exchange year, which I'm very happy to have because it's incredible. And Hong Kong is amazing. So when I was in Spain, well, as you probably know, I like sports. And in Spain, I actually got the opportunity to play for Atletico de Madrid's youth team for 3 years before being asked to leave because I have a kind of a back problem and it was painful for me to play football. So then I did a lot of swimming. I'm actually going to the swimming gala, so if anyone's from May House, I'll be there to support you. And, but then when I stopped playing football, I started having other interests, mainly in mathematics and physics. And also last year, I got introduced by a friend to robotics, and it was amazing. And I actually participated in Madrid's RoboCup Junior last year, and I was able to win, so I'm very proud of that. And I hope to be able to continue this in the CCA activities after school here in Hong Kong. So, yeah, Spanish traditions. So, I don't know if you know any of these right here. I mean, this one probably is the most famous, but this one is also pretty well. Does anyone know any of these traditions? Just raise your hand. Yeah, tomatoes. Anyone else? Bullfighting? Never heard of that in your life? Okay, then let's start there. So the origins of bullfighting in Spain aren't very known, but it's also famous in southern France. And, well, basically it's pretty explicit. There isn't much to explain, it's just bullfighting. So there's this man that's called a toreador who goes in the middle of the arena, and the game in sorts is divided in two parts. The first one, it's 5 men against a bull with the famous cape swishing and the bull running around to tire him out. And then the second part is actually 1 man with a sword who kills the bull. And the prize for this is actually the crowd votes on, the team or the toreador's performance. And if he's good, he's able to come home with the bull's tail. And if he's okay, he comes back with the bull's ears. And if he was horrible, he comes back empty-handed. Another thing we do in Spain involving bulls is actually, there isn't a good name, but it's bull running. Basically, every town closes off all the streets of the city and leaves one path open. And on one end of the street, they put bulls, and they detonate fireworks to make them start running. And, well, the idea behind this game is you run in front of the bulls and you try not to die. So it's an adrenaline rush. I've actually went to watch it, and it's thrilling, really. And at the end of the street, there's the arena, which every town usually has one, whether it's big or small in sorts. And they do this activity, or just running around playing with bulls, which isn't technically playing, it's dangerous. Don't do this at home. Then you've got flamenco. Flamenco is a dancing style that originated in Spain due to the cultural mix it underwent during Muslim invasion or occupation. Basically, it combines dancing, singing, and clapping with sort of shells to make a tick-tick-tick sound. And the combination of all three in perfect harmony is beautiful. Plus, the dancing is fabulous and the dress is amazing. It's a very erotic and sensual dance. And, it's very pretty. If you go on YouTube and search flamenco dancing, there are some videos that are horrible, obviously, like everything. But some are very, very good. And I highly recommend you to go and watch it, if you can. Then, Las Fallas is another tradition that is known, very famous in Spain. It started, it takes place between the 14th and the 16th of March. Every year, it originated in the Middle Ages, we're not sure when, in Valencia. Basically, the carpenters would burn all their wood to cleanse it before spring, to be able to start a year fresh. And it was during the period of San Jose, which was the carpenter god? No. Well, the figure of carpenters in religion. And so now it has evolved to be a tradition where during that period, everyone burns big statues of demons or whatever people can come up with to basically start the year anew, but not for carpenters, for the whole city. And it takes place in Valencia. And the last one I'm going to present today is La Tomatina. So wait, who was the guy? Yeah, you. Yeah, tomatoes. No, stand up. What do you know about the Tomatina? Yeah, well, that's pretty much it. Yeah, thank you. So pretty much this game only takes place in the city of Buñol, which is in the province of Valencia, near the city where Las Fallas take place. And the legend behind it is that there was a man who was playing the guitar in town, and he was singing. And a few teenagers thought he was singing horribly, and that his voice was ugly and all of that. So they started throwing tomatoes at him. But then it turns out that the other people who were assisting this moment actually thought that the man was singing well. So they threw tomatoes at the teenagers. And that is what began a citywide tomato battle, and the tradition has stayed since. And well, as you said, every year, the last Wednesday of August, the whole city organizes tomato-based games, or just battles where you throw tomatoes at people. And it's very fun. I actually want to go do this next year. Okay, and now I've finished more or less my traditions, and I'm going to present to you the Spanish language. Oh, so Kai did this before, but unless you didn't notice, Crucimusi and all that stuff isn't really relevant if you go to Germany or Switzerland. So these are sentences that can actually help you if you ever go visit. Did anyone visit Spain, by the way? Where did you go? Huh? Louder? Okay, no problem. So first of all, the Spanish language, well, I've tried this with my brothers. It actually has a different pronunciation than Cantonese and other European languages. So first, can you all try and do this? R. Oh, pretty good. Some people couldn't do it. Eh, Duncan? So, R. It's the rolling of the tongue. Okay, calm down, people. So now you can try and say these sentences. So on the left is the formal way to say them, and on the right, sometimes I added the informal way to greet friends or family. So on the left, hola and buenos dias is good morning. Your turn, go. Pretty good. And on the right, it's hey chaval. Good. So this is actually going to be pretty long if I say them and then I ask you to, repeat them. So if you have any doubts on how to say this quickly, then I can answer your questions on the pronunciation. But then you'll see that I have this space blank. So it was that I wanted to ask questions to you to see what sentences you thought you'd like to know if you ever went to Spain. So does anyone want to propose a sentence to learn in Spanish? And if you want to take notes of these, you can. You'll find me in Form 4C to ask me the pronunciation later. No? Yes? Well, obviously, taste is relative to every person. So I put these three. Tortilla is a sort of omelette with potatoes, so it's tortilla. Then paella is a dish, rice dish with seafood from Valencia, so it's paella. And then gazpacho. It's pretty much a soup. It's a tomato, cucumber, pepper, and onion soup. It's very good. Duncan or Lincoln can confirm that. And yeah, so those are the three best foods, I'd say. Then there's a lot more. Okay, so last time I presented this, I actually asked you questions, but to the students. So Today, maybe I'll ask questions to the teachers. Does any teacher have any doubts on how to say anything? Mr. Khan? Te amo. Te amo. Te amo. Thank you. And well, that will pretty much conclude my presentation. So there was supposed to be a Q&A, but we don't have time. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, form 4C, and I'll see you there. I'll be glad. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kai and Martin. If you want to know more about them and their countries, feel free to find them in 4B and 4C.
This is the end of our program, and hope all of you enjoy the sharing. May we now pass the mic to Ms. Chin for dismissal.